Sandakan.
Sandakan, formerly known as Elopura, is the second largest city in Sabah, East Malaysia, on the northeastern coast of Borneo. It is located on the east coast of the island. It is the administrative center of Sandakan Division and was the former capital of British North Borneo. Sandakan is known as the gateway for ecotourism destinations in Sabah, such as the Sabah Orangutan Rehabilitation Center, the Rainforest Discovery Center, Turtle Islands Park, Kinabatangan River and Gomantong Caves. The area is also infamous as the site of a World War II Japanese airfield, now known as Sandakan Airport, which was built by the forced labor of 6,000 Japanese civilians and Allied prisoners of war. In 1945, the surviving Australian prisoners were sent on the Sandakan death marches. Only 6 of them survived the war.
History.
During the early 1870s, the east coast of Sabah was under control of the Sultan of Sulu, who also ruled what is now the southern Philippines. The first European settlement in the area was founded by Captain William Shuck, a Scot, but when Shuck got himself an island around the controlled coast of Sultan of Sulu, William Clark Cowie, a gun smuggler from Glasgow, replacing himself over Shuck, who then received permission from the Sultan to establish a small trading base. Cowie called his settlement as Sandakan, which in Sulu language means the place that was pond, but it soon came to be known as Kampung German after the large number of Germans who also set up posts there. This settlement was part of the lease Austro-Hungarian consul Baron von Overbeck acquired from the Sultan of Sulu, Sultan Jamal Ulam, in 1878, which according to the lease, the width upon the concession that von Overbeck acquired was starting from Sangay Sibuko, or known as SG. Sibuko nowadays, up until the Sangay Padassans province. During and according to the concession made, von Overbeck will paid $5,000 per year towards the Sultan of Sulu and was declared as the Dato Bendihara as well as the King of Sandakan. Baron von Overbeck decided to entrust a number of English officers that he certainly trusted to administrate and took control of his areas of province. One of the trusted officer was the new British resident, William Burkes Pryor. Pryor was most acknowledged as the administrator in which introduced a law known as the Law of Trading's Taxes as a way to avoid any excessive exploitation of trading activities being made. Pryor came to manage and solved a lot of problems such as pirates' attacks, which subsequently attracted the foreign traders to visit the new town. While the Kampung German made a fast development, it's actually encountered in a fire due to a carelessness of a resident named Sabtu. The whole area of Kampung German are burnt down including Pryor's own house. The incident caused Pryor and the residents of Kampung German to move to what is now called Buli Sim Sim on June 18, 1879. He named his new settlement Elopura, which means beautiful city. A few years later, the name reverted back to Sandakan. The name Elopura still refers to a Sabah state constituency in Sandakan. In 1883, the capital of the British North Borneo Company was moved from Kuta to Sandakan. The Japanese occupation of Sandakan during World War II began on January 19, 1942 and lasted until a brigade of the Australian 9th Division liberated it on October 19, 1945. The Japanese administration restored the name Elopura for the town. One of the atrocities of World War II was the Sandakan death marches, when Japanese soldiers decided to move about 2,400 prisoners of war in Sandakan 260 km, 160 mi, inland to the town of Ranau. The prisoners who did not die en route to Ranau were crammed into unsanitary huts, Most of those survivors either died from dysentery or were killed by prison guards. When the war ended, Sandakan was totally destroyed, partly from the Allied bombings and partly by the Japanese. As a result, when North Borneo became a British Crown colony in 1946, the capital was shifted to Sultan, now known as Kota Kinabalu, often just called KK locally. Sandakan remains Sabah's second most important port, after Kota Kinabalu. The port is important for palm oil, tobacco, cocoa, coffee, Manila hemp and sago exports. Sandakan is also one of the most bustling towns in East Malaysia. The once dominant timber industry is now relatively small. It is likely tourism will become increasingly important to the town's future. In recent years, businesses have shifted their operations away from the town center to the suburbs, Bandar Ramai Ramai, Bandar Lila, Bandar Namtang, Bandar Maju, Bandar Kimphaeng, Bandar Pasiraya, Bandar Ludet, Bandar Indah Jaya, Bandar Utama, Bandar Perdana, Bandar Labak Jaya, Bandar Siabuka Jaya, etc. due to the presence of significant illegal immigrants in the town center. In January 2003, the Sandakan Harbour Square, an urban renewal project, was launched in an attempt to revive the town center as the commercial hub in Sandakan. It will feature extra shop lots, a new central market and fish market, a shopping mall, Sandakan Harbour Mall, and hotels. It is to be built in 4 separate phases and is due for completion in early 2012.
Climate.
Sandakan has a tropical rainforest climate under the Köppen climate classification. The city sees heavy precipitation throughout the year, with the heaviest precipitation seen from November through January. Temperatures are relatively constant throughout the course of the year, with average high temperatures around 31 degrees Celsius and average low temperatures of 24 degrees Celsius. Sandakan averages approximately 3,100 mm of precipitation per year.
Education.
Secondary schools. SMK Agama Sandakan, SMK Batasapi, SMK Elopura Beastari, SMK Elopura 2, SMK Entaliban, SMK Gungum, SMK Merpati, SMK Muhibo, SMK Pamela, SMK Penanga, SMK Perempuan, SMK Sandakan, SMK Sandakan 2, SMK Segaliat, SMK Taman Fajar, SMK Lebaran, SMK Terusan Sigada, SMK Datu, Pendran Galpam, SM Technic Sandakan Street, Cecilia's Convent, St. Mary's Secondary School, Boys School, St. Michael's Secondary School, Sungsu Secondary School, SMJ Kading Huyuan Secondary School, Private School, Maktab Renda Sains Mara Sandakan. Tertiary Academic Institution Polytechnic Sandakan, PSS, Open University Malaysia, PPT Sandakan, University Terbuka Malaysia, University Putra Malaysia, Ideal Sandakan, ILP Sandakan, Industrial Training Institute, Kinabalu College Pusat Jetmara Sandakan, University Malaysia Sabah, Campus Sandakan.
Sports.
Rugby is very popular in Sandakan. Eddie Butler, a former Welsh rugby union captain, described it as the Limerick of the tropics. In 2008, at the newly built Sandakan Rugby Club, the Borneo Eagles Sabahans, a team which included a few professional Fijians, hosted at the Borneo Tennis-side tournament for the 8th and last time. Next year, the tournament will change to 7-a-side. Football is also popular in Sandakan. A football stadium located in Siabuga Sports Complex can accommodate more than 5,000 persons in one time.
Sites.
As Sandakan was almost totally destroyed in World War II, there are few surviving buildings of any age. Some of the main sites today include Agnes Keith House, also known as Newlands, two-story home of local author Agnes Newton Keith and her husband Harry Keith, conservator of forests and curator of the North Borneo Museum. The Keiths lived on this site from 1930 to 1952. They rebuilt the present house on the foundations of their pre-war home, which had been destroyed in World War II. Mrs. Keith wrote several books about Sabah and its people, including Land Below the Wind, Three Came Home, and White Man Returns, and a novel, Beloved Exile. Sandakan War Memorial Park, built on site of the Taman Rimba, Mile 7 Prisoner of War, POW, Camp Japanese Cemetery, housing a memorial to the Japanese war dead on Borneo parish of St. Michael and All Angels. This beautiful granite church was built in 1897 and was one of Sandakan's few surviving pre-war buildings. It was recognized as one of the world's heritage since year 2005. Pujishi Buddhist Temple, completed in 1987, this fiery red and gold temple overlooks the town center. Samsingkung Temple, completed in 1887. It is the oldest building in Sandakan. Sandakan Mosque, completed in 1988. It lies next to the bay in Kampung Buli Sim Sim. Kampung Buli Sim Sim, stilt fishing village on the original site of Sandakan town. Sandakan Market, one of the largest and busiest in Sabah. Crocodile Farm, located 12 kilometers, 7.5 mi, out of town. It houses more than 2,000 of the reptiles in concrete pools labeled Bay Proboscis Monkey Sanctuary, a perfect proboscis monkey observation spot for tourists who wants to have a closer look at these monkeys in their natural habitat. Rainforest Discovery Center, RDC, Sepalak Orangutan Rehabilitation Center. Parala Island, Salingan Island, Turtle Island, Gomantong Cave, Langkayan Island, located 15 km from Sandakan. Masjid Jami Kasbala Al Tahiri, one of the earliest buildings constructed in the town of Sandakan in 1890s. It is located in the middle of the hill road Anam. This mosque was first opened by the Muslim cloth merchant from India, known as Damsa, in 1890.
Image gallery.
An aerial view of Sandakan town. Panoramic view of Sandakan Memorial Park Monument. The oldest granite church in Malaysia, parish of St. Michael's and All Angels. One of the suburbs, satellite towns, Bandar Indah Jaya, at Mile 4. A view of Sandakan town center. Newlands, the home of Agnes Newton Keith and Harry Keith.